Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we won't talk about like the new video Supercell released today because I feel like everyone is talking already about it and it's only speculations. Like you guys see the timer in game with the events with like around about 13 days left. Like obviously you can say okay, after this timer turn 13 might come, but once again it's only speculations. So we don't know yet what is going to come. Once again, in the video, you can't really see anything. So I want to keep going with the strategies because we had a war against INTZ and it was a really close one. We lost 33 to 73 to 75 and it was a really close one. You guys can see it in the percentage. We fell short 7% in the game. We had like a 97 and 96% fail. But, well, it was still a fun one. I think one of the most fun wars we had in a long time. Huge congrats to IMZ. Let's hope you guys win it all. And I have a strategy today for you guys, which is going to work with 8 Pekka. I know it was already there for Townhall 10, but I think it was one of the first time I saw it with 8 Pekka on Townhall 12. So let's call it a new strategy, the Pekka Spam. And, well, it's going to be on the number 11. I have really nice strategies today for you guys. One charge for the Town Hall, we have nice queen charges, we have everything for you. But first, let's talk about this base, and what's one of those diamond bases which were really popular on Town Hall 10. This strategy is working for Town Hall 10 as well, and Vale knows that because he was one of the guys who invented those diamond bases, especially for Town Hall 10. Like, as soon as the siege machines came out, he was one of the first guys who tried those diamond style bases and was placing the Town Hall at the bottom just to make sure that it's way harder to actually find a pathing for the ram. But exactly this fact he's abusing in this attack because his ram is basically destroying every single war. You can see the ram basically didn't even got any damage yet. And this is crazy because, well, there are already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wars, something like this already destroyed. And there's still a lot of more stuff to come. So how this strategy works is basically you are flanking in the beginning with your Pekka and making sure to get everything in. Like in the beginning, a couple of Pekka on this side and then everything in the core. And this means in the end they will spread again a little bit, but mainly they go to the Town Hall. And this is basically the goal. He has a jump scare with him as well, but this means that, well, the Town Hall is gone already anyway. The ram opened basically every single wall he could open, and the loons in the end really nicely seen by him because there are only 2 archer towers left, which means those loons can clear the rest of the base as well. So really nice plan by him. 8 Pekka in a single attack, 7 Pekka on its own, 1 Pekka in the siege. This is crazy, and trust me, it's working on other bases as well. Like, Pekka are so damn tanky and healers in combination, it's just crazy. And a couple of boulders, like those boulders actually are just for the beginning, like only for the beginning of the attack, and they normally do not even get any damage on them, especially when you're having like 5 to 6 Pekka in front of you, because there are no Inferno Tower beams who could touch you. So this attack strategy, try it out for sure, it's working really well, and well done by Vale. The next one is, like I said, going to be the Pekka's, the Warden charge for the Town Hall, and it's was for me, so I combined it as well with an Earthquake. So let's check it out. What you like, the normal base is looking like a town compartment like this. So like the setup of the base is kind of like standard, let's put it like this. But normally you have, instead of the air defense behind the Town Hall, you have the CC. So, but this time they kind of switched the places because at the moment it's all about baiting your opponent. But what do I mean by saying baiting your opponent? Normally, if you want to do an attack, you are having a couple of options and you have basically like a ranking. If you want to check that out, I made a video about the ranking of attacks at turn 12, and one of the highest ranked strategies is Suilalo. So one of the Sui possibilities, which means like Suilalo means basically that you're diving with your heroes into a certain area of the base and try to take out as much as possible. And one of the most favorite things to take out is the Town Hall. This is why you normally try to cover the Town Hall with your clan castle and use a hound in your defensive CC, because this makes it really hard for your queen, like for the enemy queen, to take the Town Hall down. But because this guy switched this up, it's kind of like a mind game. He put the clan castle more inside the base, and this normally means there's something in the CC which is dealing damage, like not a hound, because it means, yeah, go for the town hall, take the town hall, we are fine with that, but when you're doing Lalo after that, you won't take out our dragon with the normal poison. And this is basically the idea, and this is what happened as well. So we thought about doing a Pekka smash, charging with the warden for the town hall. This means we do not need any farmer for the warden, we do not need any support basically for the warden, except the healers, which are going over to the Pekka and bowler. And like I said, we have a witch, we have a dragon, and archers in the CC. Like, this is normal mind game basically for bases on the competitive level. And next thing is, I saved the Pekka to make sure that he's going around, because there are a lot of buildings on the outside. I got even the Tesla farm out of the way with this. I used the last rage in the core, and now the slammer is coming in once again for the backhand. It's by far the best, guys, if you're using a slammer. Slammer is so strong if you can make sure that not an air defense is going to be on your slammer. I have, well, the slammer is going basically so far untouched, going to be close to the air defense soon, but the Inferno Tower is tanked, which means the loons who are coming out are basically completely safe. Tornado Trap is getting triggered, my queen is still alive, tons of Pekka are still alive, the Pekka at the top left, we have 2 Pekka at the bottom right and 1 Pekka next to the king, and we still have the queen ability. Now I'm waiting basically for my loons getting targeted by the air defense and the Inferno Tower, because this means I have to use the rage, the haste, and the free spell. Now a couple of loons for the backhand Archer Tower, and this means there's going to be overkill because we have plenty of healers left. We have around like 10 loons left, and we have those 2 Pekka, we have all of the 3 heroes, and a couple of cleanup troops left as well. So this is the next attack, and like I said, guys, even though some of you guys might hate to use Pekka Smash, if you guys need to triple, use it. It's super strong. The next one is going to be a little bit different, because the next one is going to be a Suilado attack, which, like I said, is one of the strongest attacks in the game, when you can take out a couple of key defenses. Those key defenses normally are, first, the Town Hall, like I said already. On this one, it's basically, like I said, you have the Clan Castle, let's pause it, you have the Clan Castle behind the Town Hall, which means the Hound is covering the Town Hall, which means if there's a Hound in there, it makes it really hard to actually get the Town Hall, because the Queen won't be able to actually take it down. So this means the Town Hall Sui is not possible. The next one is going to be going for the Eagle, which is not possible as well, because the Eagle is super deep in the base. The next thing is the enemy Queen, and this is possible for Luis, because he's using a jump spell. And just take a look at the placement of the jump. He's making, like, he's not opening in tandem the 3rd layer. He could open with the jump all of the 3 layers next to the Queen, but this would mean that he lures the enemy CC. And like I said, normally in a setup like this, it is a Hound CC, which means you do not want to lure the Hound, because this means your Queen will be useless. This is why he's not opening the next layer, and this means this King will die. That's sad, but it has to happen, because this Queen is supposed to take out the enemy Queen and is not luring the CC at all. And this means this attack is so far working perfectly for him, taking out the Wizard Tower, and after that the Queen is done. The first phase of the attack is a success. The next one is going to be the Lalo. For this Lalo attack, the air defenses were perfect. Even though he did not take out a single air defense, and he has 4 air defenses against him with only 2 Hounds, that's not a problem at all, because the Hounds are tanking perfectly, because they are stuck on the air defenses. This means they're tanking the X-Bows, they're tanking the Wizard Towers, etc. On the left side, you guys can see the Slammer as well coming in, and Mr. E did a really nice mind game on this one. He took 40 archers in this in his CC, and if you think like 40 archers, that's pretty useless. Well, 40 archers, even 40 archers are dealing a ton of damage, so don't underestimate the archers. At this point in the voice chat, we already were screaming like, Luis, why did you activate the warden ability? What are you doing? You're trolling. Well, it was kind of lucky that the sweeper actually saved all of his loons from the Giga Bomb, and this means that the loons are staying alive. The slammer is exploding, but this means he can use the haste for his loons, and this is still going to be a triple. So nice attack from Luis, really nice Sui, nicely done against the archers, against the mass archer CC. And like I said, don't underestimate the archers. The archers are dealing actually a ton of damage, and they're super annoying to deal with. Like, if you do not hit your poison perfectly, it's going to be a really tough day for you. So the next attack is going to be a number 8, and this is going to be a queen charge dragon attack with a really nice jump spell. You guys will see in a second what I mean. So let's take a look at dragons, and I feel like dragons are super how do you say that, underrated, because I feel like dragons are actually really strong, especially right now where most of the clans are using at least one ground expo, which has to happen because queen charges are so strong. So you have to try to defend against something, which means Pekka smash, queen charges in general. So one ground expo is normally okay. And this means air attacks are getting stronger, which means like Sui Lalo, which means if you're defending against a Sui, like a hero dive, whatever, a little bit better, then you're even more fine. But a lot of people are not taking consideration the dragons. The dragons are, like I said, super underrated. And well, this jump, like I said, is surprising, but the purpose of this jump was to not get into the range of the expos, because if he would have jumped into the eagle, he would have gotten into range of the expos, into all of the expos. He would have lured the CC, and once again, this is a mind game, because the CC is really close to the town hall. This means normally there's a hound in there, because I explained already the last time, if there's a hound in there, you do not want to mess with the hound with your queen. This would be wasted time for you, basically. This means he's only jumping his queen into the next layer, so she can stay on the outside, using the slammer in combination with the dragons to get even more dragons inside, using the freezes on the sweeper and onto the enemy queen, because the queen is dealing a ton of damage, even more damage than the town hall, so you should always prefer normally to freeze the enemy queen in dragon attacks. And now a perfect ward ability, catching all of the dragons, like perfectly placed, and this means this is going to be a really crazy overkill, because he still saved a couple of loons just to make sure to haste them in onto the last remaining air defense. Like now the haste, loons are set, dragon are tanking, and this means they're not even taking another air defense, but they're as well soaking up another black mine. This means it's really nice overkill. Queen walk dragons, 6 dragons alive so far, and still the queen and the warden is left as well. So nice attack by Wasman, and this is going to be another triple for us. So let's check out another attack, because I did one attack another attack as well. We saw already my Pekka smash, but now I did a queen charge Lalo as well. We want to get a lot of strategies in here, and this is once again a classic base right now. What do I mean by that? The classic base right now is that you have the town hall kind of on the outside, protecting only by like a L-shaped wall, which means it's actually not too easy to get into the town hall, especially with the CC once again right behind that, and normally a hound in there, which means the hound makes your queen useless for about like 20 to 30 seconds. So with this being said, you normally are able to queen charge the town hall side. And what is that, like what do I mean by saying that? I want to try to charge into the town hall, basically try to take out a couple of key things. Town hall, enemy queen, and maybe one inferno tower, and try to get rid of the sweepers. This means I want to get rid of everything like this. This is like the perfect thing which could happen. And one thing is like annoying me, like it's really annoying for my plan, and this is going to be this sweeper, this elixirs collector. And this is a fresh hit. Like if you guys think, yeah, I knew there was a black man, whatever, this is a fresh hit. Like I first drop the coconut loon. As soon as all of the pups are gone, I'm dropping the bay dragon, and the bay dragon is getting rid of the elixir storage, elixir collector, and this means my queen will go perfectly into this small LA. The rage, if you think like, why did he drop the rage? Like he didn't even call the healers. It's all about time. Like I want to make sure that my queen is getting quickly through all of those defenses, and that's why I placed the rage really aggressive. And now, even though my healers are dying, I don't care about that. I am already starting with my Lalo. I only invested 1 rage and a jump into my queen charge, and that's basically it. I got the town hall, the sweepers, the expo, the queen, and an inferno tower for this. And now my Lalo's coming in, perfect pathing so far. Now the warden finally is catching up, so I can use my warden ability, and this means another rage is getting placed. I should have saved a couple of loons for this mortar, because now the loons are splitting a little bit, which is a bit annoying, but not too bad, because I still have the freeze, I still have a haste, and this is going to be another triple. So you guys see, it was a really nice war, it was a really close war, 73 to 75, and I think it's time for Town 13, because Town 12 is somehow getting too easy, it seems like, with the top clans are getting so close to perfect wars, or even hitting the perfect wars. So yeah, it was a fun war. I have to say, it was one of the most fun wars I was part of for a long time because it was so close. Like INTZ really early had the perfect war, kinda, which means we were always in behind and always tried to catch up. And we had 6 attacks in the last minute. You can show you that to you guys, the war events. We had 6 attacks at the last minute. You guys can see it on the left side. 1 minute left, 1 minute left. 6 attacks overall. And if we, no, it's 5 attacks. I think one of the attacks was earlier from Boom, yeah. So we had like 6 attacks in the end. Boom started it off with a triple. And then we had 6 attacks overall. We have to say, obviously, a couple of plans were tougher, but we needed to go 6 out of 6. We went 4 out of 6 to make it really close. And like I said, we had those really close ones with like 96 and 97. So it was a close one. Still, huge shout out to INTZ. It was a fun one. And best of luck in the rest of the players of CWL Elite. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think there were a lot of cool strategies in there, especially the 8 Pekka spam attack. And I hope to see you guys in the next video as well. See you guys until then, and bye-bye.